So in this lesson, we're going to talk about supplementary and complementary notes. So we're going to be able to apply a couple of things. Linear pairs are supplementary, and same side interior angles are supplementary if the lines are parallel. So two main things we're looking for right there is linear pairs and same side interior angles. These are building blocks. They are going to be used hundreds of times this semester. That's going to be, it could be your reason in a proof. It could be your justification on how you set up an equation. And you get it when you can write a two-column or a flow or paragraph or algebraic proof that establishes these facts. And again, we're looking for same side interior and we're looking for linear pairs. Those are the key things throughout the lesson. So first, let's talk about what complementary means. And that means two angles whose measure have a sum of 90. So, this is in here spelled wrong. This is actually complementary. A complementary angle would be an angle that tells you that you look nice today. Gives you compliments. That's a complementary angle. A complementary angle is two angles whose sum of their angles measures as 90 degrees. So, imagine an angle that was complementary would tell you that you're acute. So there's just a spelling error there. That's why I say it. It's complementary. That means they had to be 90. They sound the same though. So complement means they had to be 90. So if the measure of an angle is equal to 4 times the measure of its complement, looks like I did this throughout the notes. It's not a big deal, but it should be an E. What is the measure of the angle and its complement? So we know that an angle and its complement are going to add to equal 90 degrees. So we've got the angle plus its complement equals 90 degrees. Always true. Angle plus its complement equals 90 degrees. And we know that the measure of an angle is 4 times the measure of its complement. The angle is 4 times its complement. So let's say x is its complement. Then the angle is 4 times its complement. Equals 90. So now this is pretty easy algebra equation. 4x plus x is 5x. And then 90 divided by 5. X is 18. So if x is 18, x was the complement, which means the other angle which is 4x, you got to plug it in. Or you could do a simple angle plus its complement is 90. So what would we have to add the 18 to get 90? And that's going to be 72. So the angle is 72, its complement is 18. They have to add to be 90. And x was the complement. So 18 times 4 tells you the angle. Or you could have done 18 plus whatever equals 90 and solve it out. So a very similar concept, it's just another vocab word, is supplementary. And supplementary means they add to be 180. Complementary is 90, supplementary is 180. So, pretty easy way to remember it is alphabetically, complement happens first. C before S. And numerically, 90 comes before 180. So complement goes first, goes with 90, supplement goes second, goes with 180. Further in the alphabet, bigger number. The measure of an angle is 3 times the measure of its supplement. What is the measure of the angle? So, the measure of an angle plus the measure of its supplement will always equal 180. That's what it means to be supplementary. So the measure of an angle, the angle is 3 times the measure of its supplement. So it's called a supplement X. And then the angle is 3 times that much. So then you just solve this out, combine like terms. So we just found X is 45, which means the supplement is 45 degrees. So we got to find what the other angle is. So we know the angle is 3 times X, and we know X is 45, so 3 times 45. If you didn't want to do that, you could just ask what has to be added to 45 to equal 180. Either way, you get the same thing, 135 degrees. So the angle is 135, and the supplement is 45. A linear pair. 2 adjacent angles whose non-common sides form opposite rays. Key word here is it's a line. When it says opposite rays, that means that together that makes a line. So it's 2 angles that make a straight line. That's another way to think about it. So here's 2 angles, angle 1 and angle 2. And you can see that together they make a straight line. It's a linear pair. Now, the next thing we're going to say ties into the fact that you know a straight line is a 180 degrees. So that means a linear pair will always be adding the 180 degrees. So first, let's name which angles make a linear pair. You can take any 2 angles that make a straight line, so 5 and 6. Or you could go 7 and 8. Or you can get a little bit crazy, yep, and go 8 and 5, or 7 and 6. So, like I hinted at, linear pairs, since it is a straight line that they make, they're always going to be supplementary because they're always going to add to be 180 because a straight line is 180. So, you've got the 2 angles that make a linear pair, then you can say the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2 equals 180. Linear pair always adds to 180 because it's a straight line. So in the diagram, we've got x's there, so we can solve for x. X plus 9x. What do we know about x plus 9x? Adds to 180. So combine like terms, solve for x. So x is 18. Find the value of x. That's all we were asked to do. You need to be careful. The hardest part about these problems in geometry is sometimes it's going to say find the value of x, sometimes it's going to say find the value of the angle or angles. Always go back and make sure that you answer the question it says. All it said is find the value of x. X is 18. Sometimes it might say find the value of each angle. In that case, it would be 18 and 162. So now we're going to talk about same side interior angles. Same side interior angles. So in order to do same side interior angles, you need parallel lines. So if you're given a point and a line, you can make that parallel line by going through the construction that we've done recently. So you do your reference arc from both the point and the original spot. Then you do your measurement arc to see how long that is. Mark it off and you get a parallel line, B. So now that you've got these parallel lines, there's a ton of relationships that you're going to start to notice. And you would have noticed it in last night's homework too, hopefully. So with all these angles, we copied these angles right here. These are parallel because we made them, we constructed them to be parallel, so you can mark them as parallel. But we made these two angles be congruent. So an easy next step right here is to know that looking at this portion of our parallel lines with the transversal, specifically right here, that's a linear pair. Rather than just going blue. So right here we've got a linear pair, which means that these two angles are going to add to be 180. Which we also know then, because we copied it, that these two angles are the same. We marked them as being the same. So if these two angles, I'll just call it y for right now, x plus y is equal to 180. Because it's a linear pair, x and y, x plus y equals 180. But both of these angles are x. So what that means is that we also know that x plus y equals 180. And that's one of the things with parallel lines. You get tons of angle relationships. One of them being this right here. And those are called same side interior angles. They lie on the same side of the transversal. As you can see, they're both kind of like, if we think of the transversal being sideways, they're both above the transversal. They're both on the same side of the transversal. And they are between the lines, between the parallel lines. Interior, just like somebody that designs the inside of a house. Interior decorator. Interior just means inside. So if you're looking inside lines A and B, these two that I circled are interior, they're inside, and they're on the same side of the transversal. That's why they're same side interior. There's a lot of vocab that goes with it. But it all comes down to same side or alternate side. And then interior and exterior. Those are really the only four vocab words that we're going to be using for all this. So, like we just mentioned, same side interior angles, since they are if the lines are parallel, and these lines are parallel, then like we said, remember we said this was x and this is x, they're the same thing. And this is y. X plus y equals 180 because that's a linear pair. But that means then that also x plus y there, because it's the same x, the same number, those are also equal to 180. So, same side, interior angles are supplementary. Same side, interior angles are supplementary. Now, easy way to remember is that's a whole lot of S's. Same side, supplementary. All those S's go together. Very rarely are we going to have that many S's. Same side, supplementary. All right, so here's an example with some X's involved. So if we've got parallel lines, first of all, we know that they're parallel because it says it right here. They are parallel, so go ahead and you can mark them. They are parallel because it says it. Find the measure of the two angles. So those angles are both on the same side of the transversal. They're both, here's our transversal, I'll highlight it. They're on the same side. They're both above the transversal. And they are between our parallel lines. So that means they are in the interior and on the same side. So they are same side interior angles. Since they are same side interior angles and the lines are parallel, we then know that those two angles are going to add up 180. Because they are same side interior angles, they are supplementary. Same side, supplementary. Supplementary means 180. So we got to solve this equation. Combine like terms. 8 and 11, that's 19x. Negative 2 and negative 8, that's negative 10. Add the 10, divide by 19. And we got x equals 10. Like I mentioned before, though, always go back and look at what the question actually said. It didn't say find x. Find the measure of the two angles. So that means we got to plug it in. So x is 10, so that's 8 times 10 is 80 minus 2. So that angle is 78. 11 times 10 is 110 minus 8 equals 102. And like they should, they add to equal 180. Kind of just your last check, make sure you got it right. But there's the two angles.